Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Fandom Fridays, where we proceed to check out all the fanfics that are not pony related. Why? Because we don't do enough Voyager on this show. Yeah, we all know I'm a massive Star Trek fan, right? You know I love it. You know I went gaga a couple of months back to do the Star Trek and Pony crossover, and probably I'll go back to do some more of that Star Trek and Star Wars crossover by RK Striker. We all know I love it. But as with anything, I don't love everything about it. Like, for instance, there are some shows I don't enjoy, like Voyager or Enterprise. And for a while, I tried to make a vow that I was never going to watch a single episode of Voyager. Then I realized, when I was a kid, I did watch an episode of Voyager once. So that goes out the window. So I have been spending the last few weeks reading every single episode of Voyager on TV Tropes and every single episode of Voyager SF Debris has reviewed. I'm officially now a Tom and Paris shipper. Most likely either a Chakotay and Janeway shipper or a Seven and Janeway shipper. And I'm in love with the emergency medical hologram. And I share SF Debris' hatred of a certain warthog. And I feel like Kes got jumped. Not to mention, I have, after reading those TV Tropes episodes, I have actually picked a few of them I really like to watch. And I will always feel sorry for Harry. Lord, I'm Harry. So, to commemorate the fact that I'll probably be watching an episode or two of Voyager sooner or later, most likely to thaw, I present to you a Voyager fic, done by noted Brody fanfic writer and somebody who has appeared on the show before, Andrew Joshua Talon. So, without any further ado, here's Detox by Andrew Joshua Talon here at the Treeberry Memorial Library. Enjoy. Detox by Andrew Joshua Talon. This guy has an image of Naruto being punched by Sasuke as Sasuke makes your mama choke. That's hilarious. There's a simple way to explain all of Voyager's various crafts and lack of sense or continuity. Doctor, you better have a good explanation for bringing me down here. Janeway stated flatly as he strode down to Voyager's sickbay. The doctor was standing next to a scanner bio bed, an unconscious Neelix restrained on it. The captain raised an eyebrow. In for tying Neelix to the table. Indeed I do, Captain. The doctor said stiffly. If you would indulge me and come over here. Janeway grumbled and walked over to him. Fine. What's all this? Ah! The doctor whipped out a hypospray and injected her right in the neck. She gasped and held the spot. She blinked a few times, her head clearing. Ugh, what? She groaned and rumbled her temples. Oh, God, my head. Yes, unfortunately, there is a side effect of the cure, the doctor said. Turns out that Talaxias produce mood-altering pheromones. Mood-altering? Janeway asked in disbelief. The holographic doctor nodded. Indeed, though they have repeatedly different reactions in numerous humanoid minds. On humans, they can run the range of causing memory loss to psychotic breaks of reality. Captain, Kes asked. Janeway jumped and looked to see the accompanied nurse standing nearby. Kes, you're here? I've been here the whole time, Captain. Kes said, looking relieved. You actually remembered this time. But I thought you evolved and... Janeway trailed off, through us 10,000 light years. Oh, and one other side note, I love SF Debris' crazy Janeway. And I do have opinions on her. I did that, but it was actually a side effect of interacting with species 8472, and it wore off soon after, Kes explained. It was causing me to warp reality all over the place. Which, combined with Salaxian pheromones, have made things a bit problematic, the doctor said. Janeway blinked. How problematic? Aside from me forgetting one of my own crew members is still around and not ascended to a higher plane of existence. No, if he ascended to a higher plane of existence, you would know that the entire universe is balanced on top of on the back of a koala. is he smiling? What does he know? The doctor coughed. Kess looked uncomfortable. Janeway frowned. Well, you might want to look at the logs, Captain. The doctor said. It took me a long time to figure out the cause of all this strangeness. How long? Janeway asked. I'm sure Neelix was on board when I destroyed the array and stranded us here, and the redhead felt her headache get worse. Oh, God. At least a year, the doctor said. Most of the cast, who smoothly waved a chair behind Janeway. The captain fell into it, looking shocked and dismissed. So, what you're saying is, we were all high? She gasped. A very crude descriptor, but accurate enough for our purposes, the doctor agreed. Cass shook her head. I just thought that was what you people did. Like what? Janeway asked. Cass shrugged, embarrassed. Like making believe how you made a shell like a co-infinity, and Tom and you turning into salamanders and having, children. Janeway covered her face with her hands. She didn't think she was ever going to remove them. And I sent our logs to Starfleet last week, the doctor said, placing a consoling hand on her shoulder. The fact that you survived even while impaired, Cass said carefully, is a great testament. It might even make for a wonderful series of fictional stories. Well, at least some good has come out of this. How soon can you cure us all? She asked. The doctor smiled carefully. A matter of hours. The senior staff have all been cured. Harry, too? Janeway asked. He was my first test subject, actually. Janeway managed to reconcile a few conflicting memories of Harry over the past years. She winced. How did he respond? In the astrometrics lab, 709 was working on an analysis of stellar phenomena while her data compiled from a previous survey. She considered the information carefully, paying only a bit of mind to the doors opening behind her. Shh! She looked over her shoulder, seeing Ensign Harry Kim. Ensign Kim? She greeted. Is there something you desire? He was kissing her. He was kissing her? And as Seven's Borg augmented memory suggested, based on the memories from billions of humanoids interacting in such ways, very well, enough to make her heart pump faster, her endocrine system peaked, her hormones flooded her bloodstream. He broke the kiss, breathing hard. Her own respiration system was taxed as he panted. Dinner? My quarters? Old 600? Yes, Seven blinked. What? Would you like to have dinner? With me? My quarters? Old 600? Harry explained. Seven blinked again. What pretext did you... The pretext we could continue kissing and dare if you like, after having dinner about work. Harry said with a smile. We don't even have to kiss, but it would be nice. Seven blinked for a third time, considering that maybe she should alter the routines to cover the rate. Very well, she said. Harry nodded, released her, and walked out the door. He stopped and looked over his shoulder. By the way, you might want to try wearing more clothing, he said, just a suggestion. Don't you say it. The feminist in me is screaming, yes, she should have. The male in me is screaming, what are you thinking, Harry? No! Seven stared down for several more seconds than necessary, before looking back at her consoles. The situation was unexpected and strange. Baffling might also work. On the other hand, it was intriguing. Very intriguing. I'm still so sorry, Captain Janeway, Neelix blubbered from behind a force field sickbay. I had no idea. I mean, I didn't think I wouldn't. Neelix, calm down. Anyway, said, gripping some particularly strong coffee. Once again, she cursed the fact that he couldn't brought along some coffee beans before a caretaker flung them across the galaxy. Well, it made things a lot more bearable, as she wouldn't have had wasted so much energy. Voyager was a tough enough ship, but viewing her with clear eyes, it was clear that they needed some file repairs done. They had taken refuge in an asteroid field and were mired for file iron, beryllium, aluminum, chromium, carbon, uranium, real elements and minerals that would transform into needed alloys and composites to mix up the hull. Apparently, they'd been making repairs with success in developments, materials that were absolutely fictional. Antonium, bolemite, beryllium, the list went on. Unfortunately, most of it was just made up names for already existing materials, things that had nothing to do with fixing the ship. Drillium was particularly embarrassing. It was a fruit pulp that they thought would fix their plasma injectors. How the hell was he going to explain that to Starfleet? As he figured out, for now, he had to priority calming down Neelix to gain some answers. I didn't know it would. I hadn't had the slightest. Neelix, start at the beginning. Demon growled. You're a member aboard this ship. Act like it. Can't fix anything if you don't give me information. There, Neelix. Kat said gently. You can tell her. Well, the head talked like the alien sniffled. Slowly pulled himself together. You know, the Talaxians were in a large war with Hakonians about 2 days ago. Right, I remember. Janeway said with a nod. I think I do. Well, that was just the last war of the Talaxian Empire. Neelix continued mournfully. Once our influence spread across the acquired Delta Quadrant. Now there's a terrifying thought. Dr. muttered nearby. Guess saw him a dirty look. Janeway nodded to Neelix to continue. The self-appointed morale officer did, albeit with sniffles. But we began to collapse a few centuries ago, thanks to the Borg, the hierarchy, and many other powers. Talax was basically the last of our worlds, he said. Maintaining such an impressive empire at warp speeds. Janeway shook her head. That's incredible. Well, it wasn't that hard. It was mostly based on trade, with the trade to be more amenable to us than rival factions. Neelix explained. We had a large generation ships that crossed the Delta Quadrant, treating vital technologies and maintaining control over them when they burnt out. The races in question had to buy them again from us. They had to wait for one of our ships to pass by. Hydraulic Empire, Janeway asked. Neelix nodded. Something like that, yes. But when we tried to make it into an empire of the kind of fast distances, the fact that alien races were figuring out their own technologies being fallen apart. Among the defenses my people had that allowed us to have this empire were genetically engineered pheromones that would affect different races in different ways. Some fell into homicidal races at the mere scent of us. They ain't the only one, Buster. Others were confused. Others were kind of a bit insane. Like us, Janeway asked. It's called. The thing is, nearly every race in the quadrant is immune now. They developed it through contact with us over time. By my time, it was just a fairy tale. Something to encourage young Talaxians with self-esteem issues. I had no idea it was working with me. Believe me, Captain. I do, Neelix, Janeway said. Really. But until we can stop this, you're going to stay here. Will you allow me to introduce the crew with my show in order to apologize for everything I've done? Neelix asked. Janeway smiled and nodded. Yes, you may, Neelix. Besides, it might be safer until we can sort out what memories actually happened. It was didn't. I swear, I didn't mean to give everyone catastrophic heartburn or hook the cooking system directly into the plasma conduits. It worked on my ship. I thought it would work here. Well, that's a few things sorted out, Janeway said dryly. So who knows? Maybe I fixed it myself. I guess they didn't actually break up with me. Neelix said helpfully. Yes, stared at her former boyfriend. No, that really did happen, Neelix. Believe me, I remember. Compton said flatly. Neelix sighed. Nuts. So, guess it's available then? Go sit in the corner. Yes, Miss Trixie. So, the Borg baby's been able to survive all this time? Tom Paris asked in shock, rocking the little baby in his arms in the mess hall. Taurus shook her head as the baby grasped at Tom's powerful grip. She sat across from him. Yes, apparently it has a subspace power link. This sat power for nearby conduits automatically and just kept crawling on. She sighed. Tom, holding the baby, stirred up some maternal instincts in her, but she decided to save for later. Yes, much later, she thought happily as she eyed her boyfriend in appreciation. So, what exactly are we going to call her? Tom asked. The baby whined a bit, and Tom turned to the pad to a lullaby. While smiled and leaned across the table. Us. Since when did we adopt her? Well, it's not like Chakotay is going to be a good choice, Tom said flatly, too easily distracted. True, B'Elanna admitted. On the other hand, he's not going to bore you to death with stories since he's not stoned out of his gourd anymore. Speak of the devil, Tom said as the first officer entered the mess hall with a scowl. He raised a blond eyebrow at the tattooed former Maquis. Everything all right, Commander? Zakote silently handed over a glass. Tom held it, holding the Borg baby in his other arm, examining the cup. On it was a blazed sacred smoothie. Care to explain this, Lieutenant? Zakote said flatly. Tom looked up at his first officer, picture of innocence. Now, how do you know you didn't do that when you were on Talaxian pheromones? Like the sacred baby lotion, or the sacred Hawaiian shirt, or the sacred bath towel? I didn't mention those, Zakote said in a growl. Tom coughed and looked over his girlfriend. Well, honestly, I'm sorry, Tom, you're on your own. The chief engineer chuckled. I could bring up that killer android race. The one with the tripolar plasma? Tom said warily. Blonde thought that dirty look. You're really going to hit me with that, Mr. Infinite Warp Speed made me have salamander sex with the captain? You were just supposed to blame for that as me. It was a hallucination. It wasn't mine either. Dakota now ignored, sighed and took the poor baby from Paris as he and Bilal argued furiously. He carried the gurgling baby away, rocking gently. Yeah, I don't think we need to be in the middle of that, he told the child. He smiled down at her. So, would you like to hear a story, little one? The baby made a face of blue raspberry. The first officer sighed. Everybody's a critic. Oh, come on, guys. Can't be that bad. It's not like you got a whole list of bounties. On second thought, Captain Catherine Janeway, a.k.a. Captain Crunch, Doombringer, Empress of Woe. Retracted years old. Homeworld, Earth. Phaser rifle is named Betsy. Weakness, coffee. 1-4, alliance with the Borg. Piracy, terrorism. Illegal use of a tennis racket. Bounty, 50 million units of lithium. Zakote, a.k.a. Win and Wonder, the Maquis Mauler. 48 years old. Homeworld, Trebus. Half of his people's traditions were excuses for him to slack off or blow stuff up. Weakness, redheads. 1-4, terrorism, piracy, fraud, associated with the sky spirits, drug use, public nudity without a license, jaywalking. Bounty, 25 million units of lithium. Tuvok, a.k.a. Mr. Vulcan, 113 years old. Homeworld, Truethma. Finds associated with a Talaxian to be more infuriating than his homeworld being destroyed, children being murdered, or his wife being violated. And who could blame him? Weakness, telepathy. 1-4, terrorism, piracy, negligence, awakening to Flaudoir, legal representation without license, political assassination, espionage, creation of the Haster team, training a cast, grave robbery. Bounty, 36 million units of dilithium. Tom Eugene Paris, a.k.a. Captain Proton, 31 years old, homeworld, Earth. Is more awesome than any of you losers, especially you, Kravak. Yes, you. Weakness, Klingon babes, and cheesy 20th century pop culture. Not that I can blame Tom. 1-4, terrorism, piracy, temporal shenanigans, grand larceny, copyright infringement, grand theft starship, association with Talaxians, espionage, piloting without a license, fraud, posting, political assassination, gambling, public indecency, multiple counts. Bounty, 40 million lithium. Kess, Empress of Destruction, Eater of Dirt, most dangerous streaker in the universe. 70 years old. Homeworld, Caretaker's Folly. Has had enough of your shit and she's got enough power to make you regret pissing her off. Weaknesses. Possessed by the essence of dead warlords, eating dirt with bugs in wind and heat, dealing with fools and idiots before her morning cup of Kaletha, being locked in a small starship or shuttle with her ex-boyfriend. 1-4, streaking, saving the crew of Voyager, aiding multi-universal criminal who resurrected a world killer, parking a cell in a great show without permit. Bounty, 75 million units of dilithium. Neelix, 39 years old, a.k.a. the Hedgehog, supreme lord of dumbasses, shithead, who doesn't know shit, killer libidos by remembering he used to be a swimsuit model. I'm not going to look up Ethan Phillips' background to see how true that is. Homeworld, Rhinax. The reason Voyager is so scary is to recruit his own brigade of bodyguards. Weaknesses, boasting about things he's not. If he claims to be anything, he's tucking out his ass. 1-4, killing many with survival advice, causing indigestion, not having antacids on hand for set indigestion, nearly killing several people on his ship, not dying like we want. Bounty, 100 million units of dilithium. Dead. Please for the love of oldness, holy. Dead. Voyager's EM8, aka the Doctor, not to be confused with the Doctor. Emergency Command Hologram, Lord Schweitzer, Slimus, Kenneth, Doc, 7 years old. Homeworld, Jupiter State, Sol. He's modified his own program with Holoshop to include the ability to engage in sexual relationships with women. Men are right out, yet has not added hair to his appearance. Weaknesses, blondes, holographic in nature, and relies on mobile emitter, recycle bins. 1 and 4, terrorism, fraud, espionage, possession, associated with holographic terrorists, creation of anti-species 8472 weapons, illegal modification of nanobros, spamming, as himself, practice of medicine without a license. Bounty, 50 million units of lithium. 709, formerly Tetrahedrons of Matrix Zero, aka Annika Henson, Barbie of Borg, 28 years old. Homeworld, Dendara Colony. Has an overabundance of hormone production to compensate for the former status of the drone. Maybe a bit difficult to discern. By definition, is better than you, and you too. Weaknesses, Ensign Hero Harry Kim, hero of the Delta Quadrant. Alcohol, uneven stairwells, small talk, strawberries. 1 and 4, terrorism, espionage, assault, hacking, creation of anti-species 8472 weapons, simulation of innocent worlds, illegal modification of nanobros, necromancy without a license, necromancy of Neelix, aka shithead, grand larceny, temporal manipulation without a permit, public indecency, libel, and fraud, manslaughter by walking too close to traffic in that catsuit, over abuse of Borg jargon. Bounty, 90 million units of lithium. Warning, extremely dangerous, even without association with Ensign Hero Kim, hero of the Delta Quadrant. Belana Taurus, aka Miss Turtlehead. Do not, under any circumstances, call her this, BLT, or this. 29 years old. Homeworld, Keswick 4. Surprisingly skilled with a pocket batleth and its salsa dancing, as well as engineering and breaking people's noses. The connection between these is unknown. Weaknesses, Tom Paris, 7 and 9. Identifying feces with a tricorder, or temper. 1 and 4, terrorism, assault with a deadly weapon of mass destruction, Dreadnought. Assault and battery, hacking, grand larceny. Assault and battery, again, public indecency, libel and fraud, public indecency, Tom Paris also involved. Hacking, breaking and entering, assault and battery, multiple accounts, assault of a police officer, jailbreaking, rudeness, public indecency without Tom Paris, involving the liberal application of motor oil. Bounty, 45 million units of lithium. Warning, confusing her with 709 or messing her around Belana Taurus will more than likely end in your own demise. Harry looked over the bounties. Dan looked over a second time, just to make sure he didn't miss anything. Then a third. Ugh, guys, he yelled up a hand. What is it, Mr. Kim? Janeway asked sharply, focusing on the air of Rumson to avoid processing her own reaction to the bounties on their heads. Anyone else knows I don't have any bounties for me? Harry asked not silently. There was a scramble as everyone paid. Flight tapped their way through the various dossiers on their datapad. Nothing, Chakotay said darkly. Well, entirely nothing, said brightly as he pointed to an addendum report. There's a large group of people from the planet Letos who want to get a hold of him. Harry blinked and flipped over his section. So I do have a bounty on me? Maybe a purchase of interest flag on my name? He made a small expression. Am I going to have to go on a one-man kind spree to get a bounty too? Seven blinked as he carefully read the section. No. It would appear that this request is from a large number of fertile females who wish to have sexual congress with the hero of Letos for breeding purposes. Harry choked. What? Seven continued dryly. Yes. It would appear that you are instrumental in single-handedly stopping a Borg cube that was attempting to attack the planet at the time everyone else senior to you was taking short leave. He just tapped another link on the datapad. Oh, there's more. Janeway's eyebrows raised. My God. Chakotay stared. There's entire pages here of... Am I reading this correctly? Harry asked incredulously. Seven smirked. It would appear that while the rest of Voyager's crew is considered a disaster and a pestilence in the Delta Quadrant, you and you alone have managed to appear to garner quite a goodwill with some of the outstanding heroics. Brokered a peace between the heiress of single-handedly stopped a mercenary force of 50 ships. Janeway looked up. This can't all be your work, Mr. Kim. Chakotay looked thoughtful as he tapped a few more controls and brought up a duty roster to compare against. The schedules and locations on everything here more or less match up with either the times when he would have had to con for night shift on the bridge, or matched up with his short leave schedules. Kid said, "Oh, here's another listing of someone looking for Harry." Harry squinted. "That's someone who wants to produce an entertainment serial called Ensign Harry Kim, Hero of the Delta Quadrant?" Seven shook her head. "You're saying it wrong. It is all in capitals. It appears it needs to be shouted." Kid stifled a chuckle as he noticed something else. "Apparently, there's even a popular theory about why Harry is still an ensign." As he snored, Tommy leaned forward to hear this. "Oh, I gotta hear this." After the former board looked through the files, he raised an eyebrow. "From this, the theory was he was held back for the simple fact that he's competent. The Delta Quadrant seems to believe that in Starfleet, you cannot be promoted for as long as you are competent." I don't know. I mean, Wesley was fairly incompetent and he never got promoted. This fic was great. Just hilarious all around. But then again, considering the fact that this guy wrote a really good pony fic, I'm not surprised. Sometimes all the things that Voyager gets insane in, I gotta admit, I get weirded out by some of the plots too. But I will say this, that some of the plots were interesting. Still, one down, thousands more to go. See you next time.